Hello there. Welcome to another Crimestoppers of North Central Iowa. We haven't done this in a while, and we got Mason City Police Chief Jeff Brinkley joining us here, and it's great to see you, Jeff. We haven't talked to you for a long time.
No, good morning, fellas. It's yeah, it has. It's been a while.
Yeah,
Always
really.
good to catch up, though.
Yeah. Well, we thought this was a good time because this is holiday time now. So not only are we going to do Crime Stopper stuff, but we're also going to talk about your special thing that you guys do at the police department where you can actually have your packages delivered right there to the police department. You're doing that again this year.
We are. This is year 3.
All right. Maybe we should jump into that first, huh, Jay?
Want to start there? Yeah. No, that sounds good. Yeah, we're kicking off the holiday package program again here. You can ship your holiday online purchases directly to the Mason City Police Department with your name on the package, not ours, and then stop in and pick those up anytime during regular business hours. Bring in a photo ID up until December 22nd, so that you can avoid having them sit on your front step or your porch or a place where they might be exposed to somebody in your neighborhood or in your community, grabbing them off your step. We want you to get your package as expected and know that you're going to have it and be able to give it to somebody on that special day around Christmas time.
The nice thing is a lot of people have Ring doorbells now these days,
right?
To help with that.
Well, it helps on the investigation. We don't even want to take the report, right? That's the idea here, right? Like let's just do everybody a solid. No poor cop is sitting out there taking a report on a stolen package, and you aren't stuck as somebody who ordered something out your item. Like let's make everybody happy and just dodge the crime to begin with. So that's the theory here.
What'd be awesome is if a criminal accidentally mailed their packages to the police department.
That would be pretty funny.
How awesome would that be?
That would be pretty funny.
And you'll be waiting right there.
Yeah. That would be pretty good. Well, honestly, here's probably what would happen. On December 22nd, packages aren't picked up, get shipped back. So that's probably what they would probably wouldn't come and get them, and they just ship back, and we'd never know until much later.
Has it started yet?
That would be pretty funny.
Are packages coming in yet right now? I mean,
no, we put it out Friday. So I expect we'll start seeing stuff this week. Pre-Black Friday stuff's going on already. Sure. You're getting that stuff in your email. And so, I would assume we'll start seeing them by Friday this week.
Okay. Very good. What did you guys learn? Was last year the first year you did it? Or
second year?
Second year last year. Yeah.
What's the good and bad part about, I guess, obviously you guys do it for a very good reason, but how everything goes. There's a good part and there's a bad part.
Yeah, I think the best part, we have some raving fans out of this deal. They love having their stuff come here. They make one stop and they get it all picked up. They really like that. It's turned out to be a really positive event for us here. Not everybody walking through the doors of the police station does it for positive reasons all the time. And so this is a good relationship building, community building opportunity for us. I think that the challenge is just we don't know when they're coming, how many there's going to be. Sure. What the logistics are going to be on the pickup. There's a lot of unknowns sitting out there, but our front office staff does a good job of making it work, matching people up with their stuff. And so far, so good. We're never had a problem getting a package to the person that was supposed to get it. So that's good too.
Have you ever had any leftover at the end of this? No,
never had it. In fact, most of everything is picked up. It's here and gone. People are really good at this by about the 20th.
Oh,
like people are on the ball, getting stuff ordered, getting it here. Like they got their list made and they're checking it twice.
Mm-hmm.
So people that are watching this or listening to this as like a podcast, what do they literally need to do? Put their name, but your address.
Yep. So they put their name and then 78 South Georgia Avenue, Mason City, Iowa, 50401. You can put it in care of the police department if you want. And then when we get it, we're going to know you don't work here, but this is probably what it is. And we'll put it off in a corner office for you. And when you stop in to pick it up, once you show us your ID, verify who you are, we'll give you your package.
You can keep all the fruitcakes, Jeff.
Well, nothing's going up for us, so that's fine too. Those would just as soon be fine, probably going out the door too.
All right. Well, good. Well, that'll start up this week, and then it'll go until you said the 22nd of December.
Yeah, December 22nd.
That's your last time to pick them up, basically.
Yeah, we've never had anybody push it, so hopefully that's a good date for everybody.
Yeah. Well, thank you for doing that. That's just awesome.
You bet.
And you're right. It is kind of like, come on in. I suppose all the UPS drivers or the FedEx drivers and all that, they're dropping stuff off to you anyway, right?
Well, yes, and it makes it one stop for them. Instead of stopping at 8 or 10 houses in a day, they can come here, make one stop, and get rid of all those packages. They love it. They think it's great.
How cool is that? How cool
they've been great partners in this whole thing. They thoroughly enjoy it and really appreciate it.
I get to empty my truck.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we haven't had that happen yet, but this could be the first time. So yeah.
Okay.
Is there a website that people can go to if they don't know the address? Just Google it, or
We did put the press release on our PD website. So if you go to our news media and releases, it's in that section. It's all there.
Or Facebook too. I'm sure you guys put.
I think our physical address is on our Facebook page.
All right, very good. All right. Well, let's get caught up on Crimestoppers here a little bit. What's been happening? And we apologize. Everybody's been busy, I know. But you're the first one we've had now, probably since this summer.
Okay. Maybe I was the last one.
Yeah.
I think you were.
I don't know, but I think we had who's the guy in Clear Lake now?
Mike Colby, Chief Colby.
Michael, yeah, that's right. And he is now officially chief, right?
Correct. Yep, they swore him in. I think it was last month.
That's right.
Yep.
He was interim for a while, and now he's in.
Right.
Congratulations to Chief Colby.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Yeah, so we met last week, and knock on wood, it's been a pretty good couple of months for everybody from the sounds of it. I think the thing that we're certainly seeing here in Mason City, we've seen an uptick in vehicle and car burglaries over the last about month. And so a couple of things to recommend to people. First, make sure you're locking doors on cars, especially this time of year if you got, gifts and those kinds of things in your car. Yeah, make sure you're locking that up. And then we've had a few windows punched out as well where they're reaching through and taking bags and things that they can see in the vehicle. So try not to leave things in obvious places that can be seen. Secure them in a trunk, take them inside with you, those kinds of things. But call us as soon as you know. We've been doing some neighborhood canvas on this, trying to get some additional help in identifying a suspect. And so they've been happening really in much of the community with a little bit of focus on the southeast quadrant. So we're working on trying to identify suspects still, but do what you can to not leave stuff that somebody might want in your car, and lock your car doors good, please.
It's probably not so, I'm glad you brought this up because I wanted to ask you about, so let's just talk about car theft for a second. First of all, I would think in 2023, it's hard to do that because of all the electronics, all the high-tech stuff that are on vehicles. Of course, it all depends upon what year they're stealing, I guess, but and maybe you can kind of talk about that. Plus, I heard the other day there might be some kill switches in new cars coming out in the next few years. Well, if that's the case, why would anyone want to start, steal a car? You know what I'm saying?
Well, the national data on this right now still is big cities where there's a lot of carjacking, stuff like that going on. We get stolens from time to time. Usually it's we get a lot of motorcycles, smaller like recreational types of things stolen, mini bikes, that kind of stuff. And the cars we get tend to be around this time of year when it starts to get cold. People go out and start them and leave their keys in them, and somebody jumps in them, or they pull in at like Come and Go to get a cup of coffee or Casey's or something like that, and then somebody jumps in, hot seats it, and they're gone. That tends to be a lot of our stuff here. Not a lot of like what you're seeing in the cities we don't have carjackings, we don't have some of that stuff, but there are a lot of still anti-theft issues with a couple of those major brands where people are stealing those. And there is a lot of violent gun robbery related to cars and other things in some of the cities right now that I've been reading about. Teenagers, 12, 13, 14-year-olds, bands of 4 or 5 kids out doing this where they're getting shot, they're shooting people. I mean, it's a super violent young crime wave in some of these 4 or 5 large cities around the country, but not anything that we're seeing here locally right now.
It's amazing. National news shows all of that, what's going on, and nothing compared to what we have here in the Midwest.
Right. Yeah, it's a far cry from the things that we're having here. We're not having any of that.
How fast can you? Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, anybody ever stole like a tractor?
I don't know. There aren't many of those in town. I can't think of us taking a report on a stolen tractor. Maybe a lawn tractor, but not anything bigger than that.
That's like stealing a golf cart. You're not going
to. Right. Yeah.
Okay, it's been a half hour. We'll still catch them.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Right. Yeah, they're not going to outrun us.
How fast can you actually, if you hear about it, let's talk about the car. You went in to get a cup of coffee at a convenience store and somebody hopped in your car that you had running. I mean, literally, how fast can you actually find it? I mean,
we've been lucky. I mean, sometimes we find them 2 or 3 minutes later. or we find them parked and abandoned 6 blocks from there. I think at some point it kicks in like, hey, this was pretty stupid, and it isn't going to be long, and the police are going to be looking for me. And I think people wise up to that and just ditch the car most frequently. Yeah, we rarely have them turn into long-term stolens. That just isn't a thing. We recover them typically pretty shortly thereafter.
What happens to the criminal at that point?
If we catch them, typically it depends on what the county attorney wants to charge. We'll charge them with the theft second, which is typically the state code violation for a stolen vehicle, but it'll oftentimes get pled down to like operating a motor vehicle without owner's consent or something like that.
Right. So have you heard anything about this kill switch thing in a couple
No,
of years?
I haven't heard anything about that.
I heard about it the other day, and I said, what? And they were talking about, it's a few years away, but I'm like, I don't know if I want that.
Yeah, that's interesting. I just got a new car here at work, and it does amazing things that I didn't know cars could do. And as I get older, I like older cars. I think I'm starting to understand why, because of the technology, and I appreciate that. My personal cars are much older than 2023 and 2024 models at home.
Well,
but I don't know about how that. I haven't figured out the remote thing yet. But there might be something to that area. There's an app I can download on my phone if I wanted to connect with the new car. That I suppose in theory I could shut it off remotely. I can check to see if it's on or where it's parked or anything else I want to know about.
All you have to have is an app, right?
Right. But that part might make sense, and maybe it would tell us where the stolen is if it does get stolen as well.
Well, that's what I mean, and Live 360 that a lot of people are on too.
Yep.
I mean,
yep.
You kind of know where it's at. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Jake.
Well, it won't shut down the car because I accidentally tried one time. So I'm going, I just tried to shut my car off. And it didn't.
That's funny.
Yeah. You know what I'd rather have, guys? I'd rather have them, if they're too drunk, they can't drive anywhere. I'd rather have that. I'd rather have some type of mechanism on a vehicle that, whoa, sorry, you can't drive. Of course, that would help you guys out a lot and could actually deal with just regular stuff, and you wouldn't have to be dealing with drunk drivers all the time. Then.
Well, and I think, you avoid the tragedy of those crashes. That would be incredible. Yeah. I mean, I think there's, you never hear a story of a drunk driver where there's not some, the sad story on the back end is the person who wasn't the intoxicated person, right? Like we can avoid that misery. That would be fantastic. Yeah, that would be very cool.
Yeah. So downtown, I'm bringing this up because they just marked my tire.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, parking tickets. Yeah.
How often is he coming around? Every hour, every 2 hours? And he seems to get us all the time, Chief.
Well, I hired a good one, Jay. We don't go out looking for the worst person for the job. We go out looking for the best person for the job, right?
Yeah, I know.
Go ahead, Chief. That's what I do.
Huh?
I park in the 12-hour line.
I see Harry walk over from the parking lot there all the time.
Yeah.
No problems there then.
No.
Every now and then I see him drop off a ticket here, but not very often.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
yeah.
I had to the other day because we all got nailed with the parking ticket all in the same day. Would have enjoyed a notice of some sort.
Yeah, we were kind of
go move your car.
Yeah, the catch was we were doing it hit or miss for so long, and we wrestled with that, and then just decided, let's see how this thing works out starting off because we didn't know how well it was going to go, and then Ben's doing a really, really good job. And it's either you're on one side of the issue or you're on the other. Yeah. There really is no in between on this. But I think what we have seen is definitely more accessibility to downtown parking since he's been back at work doing that. He's been on now for about a month, and he's handling some animal control responsibilities for us as well in between the parking calls. But to answer your question, Jay, he's hitting the time zones at their appropriate levels. So 2 hours on the streets and, a couple times a day, typically over in some of the other spots where there's 4-hour parking and those kinds of things. But the idea is just to generate some turnover there to make sure that, people aren't, taking up a space that can't be used by somebody else for the duration of the day. So, and trying to keep those zones moving. So that's the idea. And nothing sinister about it. It is what it is. But, it's a necessary evil for us to make things work. We were getting a lot of complaints, honestly, about the lack of enforcement as well, believe it or not. Because you probably saw it downtown, both of you. I mean, there were blocks where it was hard to find a spot for a while down there. And then now when I run down there to pick something up for lunch during the day, it's not very hard to find a spot. So I appreciate that as well. That's not why we're doing it, for the record.
Yeah. No, you're trying to get, because I think I paid for you guys' Christmas party one year on parking tickets.
Hey,
what
you know
do.
what? Like we were talking earlier, like
Merry Christmas, Jeff.
sometimes that's operator error, Jay, and you just got to learn the hard way.
I'm not going to win this battle, am I?
I don't think so.
Can't have this interview too long.
What's that?
I'll get a ticket if I have this interview too long.
Yeah. No, I'm trying. He wanted me to stretch this out for a couple hours a day so he could get me.
Right.
Maybe we need more lease parking.
Yeah, that could be an option too. Yeah.
And a question about that: if you do
Yep.
go and you go up to City Hall and you buy the lease, it's so much. What is it, a quarter? You pay for.
I'm not sure if they do it monthly or quarterly. I think it's the engineer's office. Yep.
Can you park in any leased parking area then?
I think you're limited to your own. I think they assign you a spot and you've got to use your own spot.
Oh, you got to use your own spot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not wide open for the whole city.
Right.
Well, for right now, I feel fortunate because the 12-hour lot still has some spots yet.
Yeah, and most of the times when I'm through there, it's got room in it for cars. So I feel like we got a pretty good balance on
It's
that, right?
weird there, though. They've got 4 hours, they got 1 hour, they've got 12 hours. I mean, they got a little bit of everything.
So you're not parking in the 12-hour parking spot then?
Well, no, I am.
No, he is.
It's 12 hours. It says right in front of you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You get your workday out of you.
But they have different versions. I mean, they have different timing.
Yeah.
I don't understand the 1 hour one that's sitting there, but
I think it's for City Hall business. I think.
Okay.
But I'm not for sure, but I think that's what it's for.
Yeah.
So
well,
yeah.
And
Jay, I think the other thing Harry's doing here is he's letting the bosses know, hey, I'm putting in a 12-hour workday. Jay Brooks is only putting in a 2-hour workday.
That's right.
That's what I'm hearing out of this. So if they're listening, they know what's going on now.
Okay, when it gets cold out, when I got to go out there and move my car, it's already been warmed up. I'm out of here for the day. I'm going home.
I get that.
I'm not doing it twice.
Yeah.
Well, it is one good thing about it. I will say one positive thing about doing the 2-hour thing is the fact that it gets you up and out of the chair and going out and getting a little physical by walking and moving your vehicle and then walking back or whatever, and stuff.
Yeah.
Is that how you look at that, Harry?
No, I park on the 12-hour lot. I told you that.
So you're not getting up and moving.
No, I'm not. Oh, yeah, I do get up and once in a while, but I'm busy. I'm busy. See, I'm not standing up like Jeff is right now. You're standing up.
Yeah, I got a standing desk. I love it. Yeah, I spend about half to 2/3 of my workday on my feet now. It's been awesome.
Well, there you go. See.
Yeah, I can notice in your figure.
Oh yeah.
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 Try not me to make you laugh. You cough though when you laugh.
No, that's all right. It's actually the bulletproof vest, Jay. It's not really me.
Is that
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about Crimestoppers in general. Do you guys are you getting calls from people saying when they see something, they say something to you? I mean, are they giving Crimestoppers in North Central Iowa a call?
Yeah, it's streaky. When we have some big stuff happen, robberies or shootings and those kinds of things, we typically get some tips on those every year when the sheriff's office does their most wanted. We get some tips through that. Otherwise, it's just kind of hit or miss. Some months we'll get 4 or 5 calls, and some months we'll get 1. It just kind of depends on, what's going on, maybe what people's motivation are, who the people are that we're looking for. There's lots of different things that kind of impact when and if people call, and maybe what they're looking for in terms of compensation as well. So it just kind of depends on some of those different variables.
Here's a weird question. Have you ever had anybody just turn themselves in
to get a reward?
No. No.
Or just walk in and say, hey, I'm wanted.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. People do that actually fairly regularly.
They do?
I heard a radio call. I think it was 2 days ago. Well, no, it would have been Friday. Somebody walked into the sheriff's office. They were on a warrant, wanted to turn themselves in. So it does happen.
Oh, really?
Yep. Yeah. And sometimes, honestly, Jay, like it's sometimes it's people like who are working on really trying to put things back together. Like life's gotten out of control. You think with maybe substance use, abuse, some of those kinds of things. And
sure.
Maybe they've just like finished treatment and they know there's a warrant for them. So they're coming in, and it's part of the recovery process is to go address the things that I haven't done right and that I need to do better on. And and sometimes those can be really positive experiences because people are, they got some real meaning and purpose to life now and they just want to take care. They want to mend the fences they broke and try to, be better today than they were yesterday.
Oh, that's cool. I thought it was kind of a goofy question, but I thought, well,
no, a lot of those are really people that are like, no, hey, I need to be held accountable for what I did, and I'm here, and let's get.
Or they could have had somebody in the family just say, "Come on."
Yep, that too. Yeah,
just get yourself in there and just be, and we do this thing called the Warrant Wheel on Wednesday on the Fox, and we offer the mug shot, we give the information or whatever, and so I was kind of wondering, so you actually can find these people just like the sheriff's department can, right? I mean, that are wanted.
Like through searching our database.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
yep.
You guys all work together on this whole thing.
Right. Yep.
And I don't know what not saying that we're keeping score, but but there's a warrant out for the arrest, and you can pick them up, or the sheriff's department can pick them up.
Yeah, typically it's whoever encounters them. Like, and that's the interesting part of it. You can pull a car over for some random traffic violation, and then the driver's wanted out of pick your agency, Emmett County or Woodbury County, and just because we're the first officer to have contact with them, if we're within their scope of pickup on the warrant, which could be countywide or statewide or federal, then we'll put the grabs on them, take them to jail, and then they'll extradite from here to wherever the home jurisdiction is, and then take them back.
How close do you look at the tags on license plates?
What do you mean?
As far as color and if they're updated?
Oh, for expiration?
Yeah.
Oh, I think most cops are pretty good at that.
Are they?
They spend a fair amount of time. Yeah, they're up to date on the year and the color, and then just as time allows in the shift, sometimes it just jumps off the plate at you, like, oh, there's an orange sticker from 3 years ago. Right. You're sitting at a stoplight, listening to your favorite song on the radio. All of a sudden, you're like, oh, time to go to work. Right. It happens. Like, you're just like, I haven't seen one of those in forever. Time to stop this guy and ask him about it. So I think that's how a lot of cops do it.
What's the fine?
Give me a second. I'll tell you.
You don't know that off the top of your head?
I was gonna say, come on, Snappy.
My compendium is not in front of me.
He only knows the $20 parking.
I think it's $60 plus surcharge of costs, so probably
$100.
Yeah, $100.
Good Lord.
Yeah, sorry, no, I don't have my compendium handy at the moment.
So what if you miss it by a day? Are you gonna give me some leeway or not?
No, you get a pass, so you get 30 days.
Yeah, but what if it's already been through the 30? No, you get to
after that, you're fair game, Jay.
Oh, really?
It's kind of like parking,
Yeah. Okay. Well, don't come by the studios today.
Except there's no grace period on the parking, right? Like,
yeah.
So maybe you're coming out to your car to leave. We'll give you a break, But they give you get 30 days on your vehicle registration for us to not write you a ticket. Now you'll still pay the penalty with the treasurer for being overdue, but we won't write you a ticket for the first 30 days. But starting day 31 or first day of the next month, then you're expired.
All right, just tell everybody to stay away from downtown today. And
you got too many cars, then you got problems, man. These are first world problems too.
Yeah. He's just seeing what he can get away with. That's
exactly.
I think that's more it, Harry. I'm not gonna lie. I agree with you on that.
I'm taking the back roads home today.
So that raises a good point. Jay brought up a good point about the licensing. So I actually see cars once in a while they do have a license plate on the back, but not in the front.
It's illegal, right?
You have to have license plates on both, right?
Iowa law still requires a front and back plate.
Right. See,
and you got to be careful too, because you got to have the county exposed. You can't have that covered up either.
Yeah,
right?
you can't deface the plate or cover up any of the information on the plate, right?
Well, if you got a Hawkeye thing that goes around, fancy little thing that goes around the license plate,
Yeah, those are still technically illegal, though.
Yeah.
So's the tinted plate cover that the accessory place will try to sell you, and all those other kinds of things. It needs to just be the plate. There seems to be less of that with the blackout plates, though. I don't see many of those covered up by stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but those certainly have caught on, and people really seem to like them.
Do you have a camera in the cars that you can actually take an instant shot of the license plate, or do you actually have to memorize the number?
No, our car cameras we can screen capture anything on the video on those.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm sure they're all voice activated.
Take
a picture now.
No. Oh no, not like that. No, Our body cameras can do that. We can punch a button and grab a photo, and we can mark any of the video in the car video too while we're driving. If something happens that we want to notate where it happened, we can push a button on the camera and it flags that in the tracking on the video.
Yeah, it came up in conversation last week. As far as downtown is concerned, I don't know. They were working on it, I think, a little bit. Are we getting it more well lit down here?
Yeah, so I know that engineering has been working on getting the streetlights repaired. There was a box that got damaged. They were waiting on some parts to get streetlights back up. The last time I was through there after dark, I thought they were working, and somebody said they weren't. So I got to get back down there through there probably tomorrow morning on my way to work and double check that again. But yeah, I think we got streetlight repairs in place and should be up and running for good here. So
I've already had a couple of people say how they don't want to park in that 12-hour lot and then walk down.
Sure. I get it.
It's
no, it was pretty dark without the streetlights down there. No argument.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And of course,
Well,
I think we should probably get into some holiday stuff here with Thanksgiving. Of course, downtown Mason City is going to be busy. We hope anyway. Home for the holidays this weekend.
Saturday.
Yeah,
Rebel
Saturday.
Rudolph.
Yeah.
Yep.
And, I don't know how much you guys are maybe patrolling a little bit just to walk, because there's a lot of people down here at that time.
Right. Yeah. We'll be helping with the 5K to start things off on Saturday morning. And then we'll have some people at the mall with one of our squad cars doing some intoxication, sobriety education ahead of the holidays, just to help give people a reminder, hey, be smart, know when to stop drinking for the night and get a ride home, have a sober driver, those kinds of things, just to help get that message out to make sure that hopefully the holidays end happily for everybody.
Full force on Wednesday night. That still seems to be the number one drinking.
Yeah, Thanksgiving Eve. Yep, we're working on staffing a project with Sargo County and Clear Lake that night as well, just to put some saturation patrol out, let people know, hey, we're looking for drunk drivers because we know it's a night for it, and make good decisions. Come home, see all your friends, but do it safe.
And New Year's Eve doesn't have the punch it used to, does it?
It doesn't seem to.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Everybody's kind of having their own home parties or.
Well, and I think a lot of it too depends on, where when Iowa and Iowa State are playing in bowl games, and some of those, that certainly changes the football schedule. With the NFL, there's lots of different things that seem to impact that. But you're right, Harry. Here, at least, it doesn't seem like that's as big a deal.
Yeah, Harry's Uber 641.
I'm actually doing a wedding on New Year's Eve this year. I have one done.
Oh, cool. So you can drive afterwards.
Yeah, New Year's Eve weddings are fun. They really are.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah, you don't, you do. The only thing that's weird is because nowadays weddings last till about 11. That's the average time now that they end on. But that one's going to end at 12:30 because it'll get them to the midnight.
Sure.
And sometimes you can get a couple that say, "No, we're going to celebrate Eastern time zone."
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Because we got some seniors in our group.
Yeah.
I'm getting to be one of those seniors.
I think it's pretty awesome. Speaking of weddings, that there's a lot of venues now that offer, some bus travel. I mean, you just shuttles and things like that going to and from the hotels and that's really, really super generous of them to be part. I know they, probably have it in their fee or whatever. And, but I think because I see it all the time now, no matter where I'm announcing shuttle times all the time at weddings.
That's cool. That's way cool.
But
well, especially, you go to a wedding, especially when you got a hotel like that, like you said, but if you don't know where you are, when you're somewhere, strange and you've had a few beers and you're trying to find your way back to the hotel in the dark, like that can end poorly quickly.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think that having a hotel and then having a shuttle is an awesome idea.
Well, Jay, you just did a wedding here this last weekend where, for those of you that are watching this or listening to this, we did this right before Thanksgiving, but that the venue that you were at, they had shuttles. They take shuttles right to I think they were taking the casino.
Yeah.
And all that.
So the venue owners come up and say, hey, do you want to call for a shuttle call? So and I say, hey, shuttle's leaving in 5 minutes, What's the saying that they always say? Slam it, steal it, or whatever before they take off.
I haven't heard that one.
Oh, I haven't heard that one. Yeah.
Oh, you haven't? Well, if you got to take off and I don't know if you can have drinks on there or not in the
I think
shuttle.
you just made it up.
Yeah.
I wonder.
That
That
just
doesn't sound like it rhymes or anything.
that must be just my group. I guess I hang around with.
Yeah, I don't know.
Those guys are crazy.
I just thought you started rolling closing time and everybody knew it was time to finish them off and hit the bus, right?
Yeah, but they
Hey,
did throughout the night.
And wrapping things up here, Jeff. So, what are you doing for Thanksgiving this year?
We're staying pretty close to home. We got our immediate family on Friday, and then extended family's coming to town on Saturday. So,
Do you like that when the extended family comes in, like the in-laws? You like the in-laws?
Yeah, it works out great. We have a good time. We're doing our Christmas cookie exchange. Everybody's making those ahead of time, so we're doing that on Saturday, and we all got together early in November because my brother was back, and so we kind of did traditional Thanksgiving then. So we're doing like appetizers and sides all day Saturday, just like
fun,
kicking back, playing games, watching football, catching up. So I think it'll be a whole different feel, but it'll be a lot of fun. And nobody's spending time cooking in the kitchen. We're using all paper dishes. Like we're throwing it all away. Like make it easy and make it fun.
Do you wear sweatpants?
I do. I don't know if I'll wear them that day. I'll probably wear jeans and a t-shirt. So
because
you'll be wearing something Cyclones. You will be.
Yeah, I'll definitely have an Iowa State shirt on. No doubt about that. Yeah, and probably a ball cap too.
Yeah,
so, yeah. No, I gotta pull.
Is it hard for you to leave work at work? And I mean, I could just imagine, especially when extended family comes over. It's kind of it's like me and Jay. We don't see you very often, but
right.
We do it for obviously business reasons to get this on the air and so forth and so on. But
honestly, for me,
it's
I never get away from work when I'm in town. It doesn't matter where I'm at. If I'm at the kids' school events or the doctor's office or the grocery store or church or whatever, like it always devolves to work, right? So my real opportunity to get away is when I get out of town, because then I'm just Jeff, and that's perfect with me, and I like that. Or I can be Eli or Abby's dad or whatever that is, right? Like that's the role I like best. But it can be challenging when I'm in town. Family's pretty good. They don't bug me much. If there's something been in the news, they'll hit me up about it. But that's about it. So no, it's those are pretty good days too. When we all just get to be together.
Yeah. And you can shut your phone off. It's okay.
I don't ever get to shut it off, but at least I'm not working. Like, we got good people, we got good supervisors, and our officers get it. And I don't worry about this place when I'm not here. I mean, I know that it's in good hands, and if they need something, they're going to call. And so they do that. And so no, I'm able to sleep well at night and get away most days and not have any worry about it.
That's awesome. And what is your typical shift?
7:30 in the morning till 5 or 5:15 at night.
Wow.
And then Tuesdays are long days because every other one of those is a council meeting, and so it just kind of depends what the rest is going. But I have several regular meetings I attend, and some of those are after hours, and so I come and go as I need to get to everything I need to do.
I just thought of one more quick thing here before we let you go.
Yeah.
Do we still do Shop with a Cop?
Yep. Okay. That's coming up December 11th and 12th, I think, are the dates.
What's the significance of that now? Explain that a little bit so people.
Yeah, you bet. We have several generous people around the community that donate to Unit 18, and then the officers from our police department take kids shopping. I think this year it's Walmart and Fleet Farm, but I haven't seen the sign-up sheets yet to know for sure. But we take them shopping at local businesses, and we typically have a list of kids and families. Sometimes mom or dad tag along depending on the age of the little ones, and we work to fill some needs, and then we also work to fill some wants. And so it's a chance for them to have a Christmas maybe that they wouldn't normally have without the generosity of people in our community who are willing to give a little of their surplus to help those who need it. So always a great program. Again, this is one of those times we encounter people in our community that we oftentimes are at odds with in a very positive situation. And so it's fun. It's nice to be able to break down those barriers, have those kids in particular have a positive interaction with policing, with law enforcement, and that hopefully builds a relationship for us that we can build on later down the road. We see
how many kids do you usually have?
Oh boy. I would say 60 to 70 a night.
Oh my. Oh, that's
Because
thought.
we each will take several groups through, depending on how we're staffed. Typically, we're there from like 2.5 to 3 hours, and so we'll have kind of a first wave, a second wave, and a third wave. And so as you finish up one group, you'll pick up another one, and then go start through the store with that group. So, yeah, it's the money goes to a great place. So,
How old are the kids usually?
I think they're typically like 6 and up. They got to be able to pretty much care for their basics needs on their own. We don't change diapers or anything.
I was just going to ask you that.
I was going to say that'd be all some of us would get done. What'd you do for the last 3 hours? Tried to change a diaper, and I was unsuccessful, right? But no, they got to be fairly self-sufficient. But then we'll take them basically 6 to 17, I would say, would be the age typically most of the kids that we see. And typically the olders are looking out for the smallers. And it's awesome always to see them want to shop for mom or dad. That always warms your heart when they want to give back to them because they understand what mom and dad do for them. So that's always cool too.
You never have the 12-year-old that wants to go get a BB gun.
No. No, it's there might be and sometimes they group together the kids like, hey, we want this one toy, like the wall share, if it's something like, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, like maybe a Bop It or something like that. They're all like, hey, we can all play with that. But they'll be like, we get mom or dad this. And so that always warms your heart too, to know that they appreciate what people do for them too.
That's awesome.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, before we do go though, we're talking about the drinking and everything else. Chief, we should mention too, we're looking at December 13th for a whatever we want to call it.
When to say when.
Know when to say when.
Yeah, I like know when to say when. Yeah, we're gonna come into the studio. Jay's gonna provide the drinks, and we are going to help educate you as the listeners on how alcohol impacts people as they drink. And so we'll come in at 7:00 in the morning on a Wednesday, and we'll start feeding drinks to Jay and some of the other people that are coming in, and help you understand how many drinks it takes and what kind of time frame to get them at or near the legal limit of 0.08 for driving. Just to help kind of remind you how that can impact your own consumption when you're out with your friends at the holidays, and to make a good decision. When you're there, don't drive. Get a friend, get a sober driver, find a way home that's going to make sure that you get home safe.
And we tell them, I tell people how tall I am, and according to my neighbor, I'm shrinking. I'm shorter than I actually say I am, and how much I weigh. So that way, so people that are listening maybe have the same comparable height and weight and all that good stuff.
Yeah, and we're going to try to mix up the drinks a little bit too, to show you the difference between beer and hard liquor and some of those kinds of things too.
Right. Just to, because you'd be surprised. You just got to tune in to find out more on how that goes. Because you may feel like you're fine, but you're not.
Right. Yep. Be smart.
And I can always come in and do like I usually do and give my little recovery type of talk, and I can tell you my story, and that's why
I also like that too. That's an important part of the piece.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I can do? I can actually, now, granted, it's been a while, and I'm sure a lot of your penalties and fines have gone up in 17 years, but I can share that if people love to spend money.
Yeah.
How much I had to pay out for everything,
Yeah.
I mean, it's my last bump was a $65,000 mistake.
Wow.
That's everything. I counted it all up, everything, treatment and all of the fines, all of the interlock device. I mean, everything like that. That's how much it was. Lawyer.
Yeah.
Everything all together, and I can share some of that too. So, it's, I'm very grateful. It's been,
well, you're still here, right?
I'm still here and 17 years seems like hasn't been that long, but I just stick with my recovery each and every day. So,
December 13th, that's when we're looking at doing it. So tune in that morning, Wednesday morning at 7 a.m.
All right. Sounds good. I got it on my calendar.
Okay.
Right. Chief, it's a pleasure. It's always a pleasure.
Thanks, guys.
To talk to you, and thank you for everything that you do and your whole department down there. And let's have a safe holiday season, and happy Thanksgiving and Merry Christmas and all that. Don't forget, one more time, the address that you can mail those or have those packages mailed to for Christmas.
Yep, 78. Yep, 78 South Georgia, Mason City, Iowa, 50401.
Yeah, put your own name on it.
And then put your own name on it. Yep.
Yeah,
otherwise, we'll open it for you.
Right.
Name on it. I'll open it for you. It'll be here, but I'll open it.
Get your red wagon finally.
Yeah, maybe. You never know. And my BB gun.
Yeah. Don't shoot your eye out now. Come on.
Yeah. No, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. And thanks for helping us get the word out, too. So,
yeah.
Thank you.
Thanksgiving
well,
and Merry
for
Christmas.
those of you listening, 800-383-0088 is the Crime Stoppers of North Central Iowa. You can go to crimestoppersnorthcentraliowa.com, and they also have a Facebook page as well. So thank you, Chief.
Thanks, Chief.
Thanks, you guys. Have a good day.
All right, you too.